All right. So, twice today I have tried to create this video. First time I didn't do the screen share correctly. The second time I messed up the audio. And third time's a charm, as they say. I'm going to give it another go. I guess this is what happens when you don't try to learn how to use a program before you use the program. I've never done the screen share thing before with recording video. This is new to me, and I think I got it figured out this time. What you're looking at here with me is a picture of a house, another house, and a pool in the sky. And the purpose of this picture is to incorporate it into another picture and make an album cover, an artwork, piece of art, an album cover for my friend John's band, Hidden Horizon. And on this song called Gone, John was writing about the day his parents told him they were selling the house and moving where he'd grown up, and his childhood home, his lifetime home. And so he had some thoughts about that, put them into a song, and it's a really cool song. It's a little bit of a departure from the traditional pop punk style of music that we play, um, but it's a really good one. And every song he does, it seems to be getting better. So this one's called Gone, and I don't know when he'll be having it released, but coming soon. I guess once we get the artwork done for it. This one is featuring Last Bit of Advice, the song, so Hidden Horizon featuring Last Bit of Advice. Last Bit of Advice is me and my sister Allison. That's our little music project name. And I play guitar on this one, and Allison did some backing vocals on it. So, a little team effort. It's fun. Last Bit of Advice just had a single come out yesterday called Last Bit of Advice, where the name of the project comes from. And that's available for streaming everywhere. If you're familiar with this channel prior to this video, I did a little teaser yesterday. But okay, so Last Bit of Advice, go listen to that. Paul Brody, go listen to that. And Hidden Horizon, go listen to that. Here we are today making a album cover. I guess that's kind of what this is, tutorial, but I'm not good at tutorials or things like that. What I can tell you though is this is how you make an album cover. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. John had his concept idea and wanted to put a picture of the house in the rear view mirror or the side mirror of a car, and then have the text on the mirror, where it usually says objects in mirror may be appear closer than they are, or further away than they're. I don't know. You see it all the time, and you don't know what it says. I don't know what it says anyway. But put that on there. That would be the band name and the song name. So that's what we're gonna do. I suggested you get Paint.net. It's a free photo editing paint, MS Paint beefed up a little bit kind of thing. I've used it in the past quite a bit, and I said, "Get this, it's free. You can figure it out." And then he said, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." And then he said, "How about you give it a shot?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." So I'm gonna, well, it was something like that. But I'm gonna do a step-by-step walkthrough on it, so he can do it himself if he wants to, or he can use this, or he can make it better somewhere else. I don't know, but we're making a concept today. And like I said, I already did this video twice today, so this is the third time I'm going through this process. I deleted it just to make sure I have to do it again, but I saved it to Google Drive, so it's really not. Anyway, we work through DistroKid. It was a distribution service. Checking my time for uploading your music, and they distribute it to all the different stores. So I upload the songs, the album to DistroKid's website, and then they distribute it out. It's a go-between. It's a paid service. But if you're looking to distribute your music, DistroKid's a fantastic way to do it. It's really easy. I'm not being paid to say that. I just have used it myself for a couple of years, and I like it, so I'd encourage you to do it. But there's other options out there. There's TuneCore and other ones. I used TuneCore in the past, and basically the same thing. That was before when it was just iTunes and Amazon. So now they've got a lot more stores. But I don't know what TuneCore does anymore. I only use DistroKid, and it works for me, so I keep doing it. Artwork, when you're uploading artwork for an album or a single, they want 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. So here I am. I'm going to create a new canvas, or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it in here, but I call it a canvas because that's what Procreate, the program I usually use recently, calls it. So we're going to create a new, what do they call it? Now I'm curious. Yeah, it is canvas. Okay. So I think you can see all this. Well, the first time I did this today, it wasn't showing up the little pop-up menus, but I'm pretty sure that's resolved. So anyway, go to File, New, and we're going to turn it to 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. And I put 300 resolution just because I do. I think that's a fine place to be. I don't know. Here we are, blank canvas. And so layers is the key to doing photo editing in this program. We don't need background too much. I'm going to use, I think 4 layers, doesn't matter. I'm going to put them all here now. And then you can select them or deselect them to see what you're showing. Right now we're just showing the background. It's white. We can change it to any color if we wanted to. We're not going to use it for color, so we're going to leave it alone. The first thing I want to do is, this is going to be our bottom layer. This is the picture that I want to show through the mirror. So I'm going to edit, select all, and then copy it, and then back up here at the toolbar, click back to my new project, highlight the background layer, and then paste. And it's going to say expand canvas. That will make the canvas fit the size of the image. The image is larger. In this case, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep the canvas size because I set it to where I need it to be, 3000 by 3000. Keep canvas size. There we go. And you can resize the image on there while it's still selected. I'm going to resize it a little bit and bring it in to where I expect the, you can distort it, so you got to be careful on that. But I'm going to bring it to about where I think, based on past experience from today, where this mirror is going to line up on it. That's where I want it for now, and I can come back and adjust that if I need to. And then move up to our second layer. There's nothing on that layer. That's what the checkboard appearance here represents. There's nothing there. So we can, we're seeing through it to the bottom layer. But if we put something on this layer, then we won't be able to see the bottom layer anymore, which we're going to do right now. So here's a stock photo I found of a side view mirror. I picked this one because the sunset is similar in colors, and I was hoping that would mean that what's around, I gotta stop pointing at the screen so you can't see that necessarily, but you can see the cursor up here, the sky. If this is the opposite, or not the opposite, but the other direction of this, then I'm hoping that will seem realistic for the other direction of this. This is a more majestic looking sunset, but here we are. So on this, I want to take this part out. So I'm gonna use the selecting tool, cropping selecting tool, and I can resize it. So I'm just going to grab it. I did this earlier and then I ended up having to resize it. It was a little off, but it still worked. So same thing. So select, and then I'm going to copy it. Here's the copy icon. You can get that under edit as well, but click copy and then go back to the canvas we're working on, layer 2. Am I going too fast? I always go too fast. I'm not going to slow down. So I'm on layer 2. So now you gotta make sure you selected the right one, because if I put it on top of this, then this picture will disappear because it'll be hidden underneath the new one. So make sure I'm on layer 2. You can put on any layer, but I think there's probably a button where I automatically paste into a new layer. I don't know. I think that, yeah. I thought that was an option, but it doesn't matter. So we already got a layer here. So that, and then you go up to the paste icon, boom. And remember, we're on an upper layer, so this isn't covering, it's not merging with anything. It's just floating on top on a separate layer. So now we're going to use this to match the canvas size, and that's where I'm talking about some of the distortion. So maybe I need to grab a better selection of it. That looks a little too, I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go back. I want a more square selection. So what would that be? That would mean I have to go closer to this, taller this way, closer this way. That's too close to the edge. Something like that. Is that more of a square? That looks like more of a square than the last capture. Copy, layer 2. Do I need to delete that? I don't need to. I can just paste over top of it. And then we're going to stretch this. Is it better? Better? Worse? That's good. At least, I mean, this is still just kind of draft mode. I sent John what I created earlier, but I didn't send it to him fully yet, so I haven't heard back from him. I sent it to him through Drive, but I thought I had the permission set on that folder where I set it, but apparently they weren't, so I had to get the email from him requesting permission. Anyway, you don't need to know all that. So here we are. This in the center here is not this, so we're going to make it that. And we're going to do that by cutting this out, and it will just show through. This is really a basic, very simple thing. You might not be aware of how or where to do something like this, but it's not a difficult task. So one little shortcut I like, Control plus or Control minus for zooming in and out. Control plus zooms in, Control minus zooms out. I like that. The trick here is to steady your hand like a Zen Master and trace along with the mouse. And you can do this in bits and pieces. I'm not as good with the mouse, but you just make your selection and then mute your computer. No, don't hit the mute button, hit the delete button, which is, oh, and I did, man, every single time I did this. Okay, remember I was talking about make sure you're on the right layer. This is why. I was highlighted this layer. I was looking at layer 2, but I was highlighted on the background layer. So I cut out that. We don't want to do that. Hit the undo button. All good. Nope, got to hit undo again because that was just a layer select. Okay, now we're all good. Okay, what do I got to do? Select off of that. Layer 2. Layer 2 is highlighted. Now I can delete. Use the lasso, freehand select. You'll see as I'm dragging this cursor around, there's a bit of a shadow from the mirror box on the mirror, which makes it look more realistic. And that is something that I'll have to work on adding in later if I want to, but probably not on this rendition. I almost hit the mute button again. That's weird. Okay, delete. There we go. See, now you can see that's showing through. We got to adjust this a little bit though because it's not coming through properly. Not that button. Zoom out. You know what? I'm just going to copy and paste this again. So it's easy. Boom. All right. Now what does that look like? We can work with that, right? Okay. So highlight layer 2, back to the lasso select. We got to get out of that. And just keep dragging and clipping out bits of this until you get it where you want it to be. I'm going a little sloppy here. Whoa, too low. Zip. Come back around, and that was close. I like to do the smaller sections in case I jerk the mouse too far and end up cutting into the part I want to keep. But that one okay. Something else you could do to clean up the edges, grab the eraser tool, not Shift plus, Control plus, and then come in here. So erase will do the same thing. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Maybe that's too big, but you could do it this way. Why is that? It seems like it's, I guess just because it's the edge of it. I don't know, but yeah, so you can kind of clean up the edges that way. That might be a little bit easier or something. I don't know. Oops, too far. But you could take out the entire picture that way instead of doing the select and delete. But I did it the way I did it, and that's the way it is. But this does smooth it out better than that. Well, when I'm getting it not so crazy. Again, oh man, that's too much. Undo. All right. So windows are getting, my menus are getting in the way. Riveting to watch somebody do this, right? Maybe it is. I don't know. I like watching. If you're into ASMR, I'm going to make an ASMR video, not because I want to be an ASMR video making guy, but and not to make fun of it either. I take ASMR seriously, not seriously, but it's an enjoyable experience for me when I experience it. It's something I experience. Not everybody gets it, and the people who don't get it seem to be jerks, judgmental about it, make fun of it, whatever. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Who cares? But if you want to make fun of it, I don't care either. If that's your thing, then I respect that. Whatever. I don't care what anybody's thing is. Just don't harm anybody. That's the key. All right. So that's it, right? Because of the nature of zooming in, zooming out, or whatever. I mean, in the original image of the mirror, having more of the background is probably better. So I think we have to find a different mirror, or maybe I'll take my own shot of it. But it was the mirror was in focus, so this is already out of focus. But then with my dragging the size of it, distorted it a little bit more. So I don't know if that's something that John's going to be concerned about or not. But I don't know that I like the way this looks too much. But it gives you the concept, and it's probably not. Let's look over here and compare. Does it look, like it's a clear image? I don't know. I don't know if maybe angling it a little bit makes it better, which we can do. Let me show you how to do that. So let's close this out and then we're going to grab a selection of this. Don't need to get it perfect because most of it's going to be covered up by the mirror background. I'm just going to cut it and then paste it right back in place, and then tilt it just a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. Let's tilt it a little more. Too much? Maybe that makes it a little more mirror-like. I don't know. Something, but there's some things you can do with that. So let's do that. Now, I guess I won't do it the way I did it before, but now the other thing I want to try out is putting the text on here and see what it looks like. So earlier I had found one called HP Simplified JPan. I think that was the one. I don't remember what the font was, maybe 26. And I used this medium gray color caps lock, Hidden Horizon, featuring the last bit of advice. Gone. Oops, caps lock, remember? Gone. And then we want to center that, and then move this over here, and we are going to then twist that a little bit like we did the background picture. So capture it, make sure we're on the right layer, cut it, paste it, twist it. That's it. Bring that down a little bit, get more of the text on the darker background, the grass, makes it a little more visible. I don't know. Before I was trying to figure out what the best way to do the text was. I don't know. I had a little bit of I did the same thing in black and had it underneath it like a little bit of a shadow, but it was hard to get it to line up perfectly with the after I started twisting it and everything. But let's try it again real quick just to see. You can't, as long as you're still in the text edit function, Horizon. I can't type and think speak at all three at the same time. It's too much. As long as you're still in the text operation, you can change the color of it. Once I click off of it, then I won't be able to change the color anymore. Hidden Horizon, last bit of advice. This is on a separate layer, so we're going to select it and cut, paste, twist it. But the problem here is I shrunk the other one. I shouldn't have shrunk it. I should have just left it because it's going to be hard to get it to the same, which is okay if I'm just looking for a bit of a shadow of it. But all right, maybe I have to do that one on the top. Yeah. But there's one part where like I couldn't get it to line up perfectly, but it was looking good like that. It's not like on some of it, I like the way it looks over here on Hidden Horizon's probably the best. Maybe Advice is probably the best of it, but it lines up too much on Last. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to tell if I like that or not. Let me duplicate, put the gray on top and bottom. If I offset that a little bit, maybe that will get me where I want to be. Cut, paste, drag it the slightest bit. I don't know. It gives it a little bit of depth, and then that helps to pop out against the background. So like you can see it when you zoom in, some depth and shadow and almost 3D appearance to it. Even though it's real subtle on the zoomed out, it works on the zoomed in. But you get the effect of it here, even though you can't really see the detail of it. I think that a lighter background would be helpful. I don't know how I would do that here. I think probably finding a new mirror picture would be the best way to go. But that's basically it. And then just another thing to be aware of when you save it, you want to save as right here. Okay, you want to save it as if you want to go back in and edit it anymore to keep these layers, you need to do it as paint.net file. So we're just going to call this Gone Cover, nope, Concept. Let's call it Concept. Gone Concept. I'll save that. That'll save me as a paint file. I can come back in and edit it. But if you want to open this on your computer or phone or whatever, I want to send this to John, I need to create it in a PNG or a JPEG or some other kind of image file. So I'm going to go back and do Save As. Once again, this time I'll change this to JPEG. And I think JPEG is what YouTube wants JPEGs for thumbnails, but I think what's it called? DistroKid takes PNGs as well. So Gone Concept, JPEG, save, and now it's gonna flatten these layers. So this is, I don't know what this deal is about, but you can see it zoomed in or whatever, I don't know. But I'm gonna hit OK. And then, so flatten means all these layers become one image, and you won't be able to get back in and edit any part of it if you wanted to. So that's why you want to save it as a paint.net file first. Flatten, now there it is, that's your image. There's no depth to it, no layers. I can't, if I cut something out of it, I'll show you. If I cut, like before, I was able to cut the text out and rearrange it. If I do that now, boom, and then I say, all right, well, let's twist that. See, now it's part of the background file, it's a background image. So I'm gonna undo that, click out of there, and that's it. I don't know how to get back out of the screen share thing. I don't think I can. So look for this song coming soon to a streaming service near you. Stay tuned to this channel. That's the word I'm looking for. Stay tuned to this channel, and I will let you know when the song's out. I'll put out links for the pre-save and stuff once it comes out on whatever future videos I have. And in the meantime, you can go back, check out my old songs, and I am working on the lyric video for my song Board Game that came out a couple weeks ago on the what's it called, Breakup Breakdown album. And I've got a lot of cool new animation for that one. Not a lot, but many hours worth of work. I'm getting better. I figured out a process to make it better, be able to do it quicker. So it's coming along. Practice is helpful. That's it. Thanks for watching this if you did, and if you didn't, thanks for not watching it. And stay tuned because there's more stuff to come, and also some music. Okay, bye. Thanks.